Thank you for watching today's video lesson provided by the Tennessee District Attorney's General Conference Information Systems IT Training Department. Now that's an acronym, isn't it? But thanks for watching. Today's video lesson, we're wanting to go over folder structure, and primarily the folder structure when your Office is migrated over to Office 365. The reason for the updated folder structure is primarily because of the amount of data that your offices are continuing to get, and this may relate to videos, digital recordings, any type of media that you may be given on DVD discs, Blu-ray discs, CDs, any type of media buildup. Trying to basically organize it and structure it in a way that it doesn't accumulate and just build without having the ability to be recycled and utilized in a way that's efficient. And this is primarily for the offices that are being migrated over to Office 365, but it's also good practice to go ahead and start getting into this structure because your office will be going to this as well once you are moved over. So let's go ahead and get started. The reason, once again, for this is for the ability to organize as well as gauge the amount of data that you're getting, being able to put it in a way that we can have a little advanced knowledge to know what your office is currently being given, how much it can currently handle, such as the servers and the data storage and whatnot, as well as allow us to gauge our infrastructure, because we have to take a look to see what you have in order to create a blueprint for anything that comes in the future. Not so easy, especially in some offices. Some offices are not that bad, but when you're really starting to be given a lot of data, we've got a lot of things on our end that we have to take a look at. That does include your internet connection, the hard drive storage space, as well as how to set these things up appropriately. So when you do have a Office 365 account in your office, or your district offices migrated over, your My Documents and the majority of things that you have will actually be stored there. However, when you're given multimedia, your scans, anything that comes from your multifunction copier scanner, as well as some archive information, data that's not used on a regular basis, those will still stay back in your local office, because it doesn't really make sense to try to be like a YouTube or stream any type of video when it can actually be stored locally in your office. You'd certainly have a lot of connection and buffering and lag in trying to do that, as well as the uploads, and just a huge mess. So whenever you are migrated over, you will notice that you will have 3 shortcuts on your desktop, one of them being the archive shortcut, one of them being the multimedia shortcut, and of course the scans. Everyone's probably pretty familiar with this folder. Basically, when you're at the multifunction copier, you select the folder that you're wanting to scan to. Once you basically scan that item, what we really want to stress that you do is go here, rename the file that you scanned, and move it either into Justware or move it into the appropriate folder that's outside of the scans folder. And the reason for this is primarily that the scans folder is just a holding container. It's not really meant for storage. Now let's move on to the next folder, the archive folder. Now what this folder is designed to do, it's primarily a folder when you have certain folders that may get in the way, certain things that are not used on a daily basis, might not even be used on a weekly basis or even a monthly basis, but it's something that you just cannot delete right now. something you may go back to in a while. It's not really in your active file list, but something that you don't want to get rid of just yet. This new structure that we have now is set up primarily the same way that your scans folder is whenever someone is hired into your office, or you have a user in your office, they will be given a folder that is inside the archive folder, and that also includes the next folder that we're going to be talking about, the multimedia folder. But it's bound to their name, so that, say, if they leave the office, that folder with that data actually does get moved. It doesn't just sit out there accumulating, whereas when there's no structure out here, this can become quite messy. So what they'll do is archive information, things that are case related, or could be just some file that your office may use interchangeably or whatnot. But it's just something that is attached to this person, that's in the archive folder, and just something that they don't use on a regular basis, but they don't want to get rid of it. Primary purpose of the archive folder. The next folder, this is the multimedia folder. And this is where it also does have each person's user account name, or first and last name will be the folder name. And it's just going to be a place where whenever you get multimedia, such as MP3s, whether it's WMAs, whether it's MP4s or video files, anything that you have that's case related, something that you get, whether it's security cam footage, whether it's dash cam camera footage, anything that you have that is bound to a case that you're not going to be uploading, but you're going to be storing on your local server, and you want to primarily make a note in the case, say in Justware, to see the multimedia folder and see the attorney who's assigned that case. That way you can go in here. Once you go and find that case information, the video will actually be sitting out here. All you have to do is just double click on it. You can play. Kind of alleviates having to locate a physical file, get into a lot of storage issues, as well as a lot of other things. So the primary container, which is the multimedia folder, this is where you're going to want to build and store that. You're also going to want to recycle the items in here. Whenever you have a case that is closed, just go and simply delete it, remove it out of the multimedia folder, and recycle it. As well as, say, if this attorney leaves, or if it's a secretary, victim witness coordinator, criminal investigator, or whoever, whenever they do leave, all you have to do, and what we will do, if their data does need to be backed up or moved, we'll certainly take care of that and handle that. But whenever they do leave, we don't want that data or that information sitting out there that's dormant, that's not being utilized or used. It gets backed up. It does have some inefficiencies when it does sit out there. So we'll simply delete it. That way it's gone. We can then, of course, create the new folder for your new attorney or whoever comes in, and they'll begin to utilize their folder. And it's just a lot more efficient way of being able to handle the ongoing growth of the multimedia and the information that you're constantly being given, because it is certainly not slowing down. Pretty much everything is going to be based off that. So that pretty much wraps up this intro for folder structure. I hope that made sense. Just basically going over the 3 folders. Everyone will have their own folder that they will want to put their information, whether it's something that they're wanting to archive that they don't need on a regular basis, whether they're given a video or audio, any type of multimedia that they're wanting to store for case-related information that is not going to be uploaded in another application or program. And then, of course, your scans folder. Most of you are accustomed with that folder as it is right now. And If you have any comments or questions, please contact the service desk. You can find us at servicedesk.tndagc.org, or of course you can always call the service desk or the help desk line at 615-253-5725. Thank you very much. Have a wonderful day.